So, we're going to begin. Welcome, first of all, everyone to Bloom at the Yoga Garden. So it's another lovely morning and I'm feeling super excited today. So we're going to lie back and down in Shavasana, so when you're getting comfortable, and you will need a block or a blanket today. And I'm going to read to you from Boy, the Mole, Fox and the Horse. And this little bit is, sometimes I think you believe in me more than I do, said the boy. You'll catch up, said the horse. So I think we all feel a little bit like that at times, that other people have a different impression of you. You feel that maybe they don't know you in a way that you think they do. But sometimes we just are too hard on ourselves and don't give ourselves enough credit for what we can do and what we are. So we're thinking about Vishuddha chakra today. So this is the throat chakra, and it is a really important chakra, a very powerful one, because this is the one that allows all the other chakras to function in unison, and so everything can spin nicely together. And it's based really it's in our throat, but it's also affected by our neck, our shoulder girdle and our arms. And of course we know that if we're anxious or frightened or cold, we're like this, so we close everything in round and probably tuck our chin in a bit. So we're closing off Vishuddha chakra when we do that. So we want to keep a nice openness right across the shoulder girdle, down through the arms and the neck. So if you haven't already, very consciously roll your shoulders down towards your hip points. So there's a nice openness right across the collarbone there. And your arms are rotated, so they're opening out as well, slightly away from your body, backs of the hands on the floor. So even stretch out the back of your neck a tiny little bit if you can. So imagine you're taking the crown of your head up towards the end of your mat, and just get that little bit of extra length in the back of the neck and the chin just facing up towards the ceiling. So if you've rounded shoulders or anything and that's a bit of a strain for you and your chin's sticking up towards the ceiling terribly, you should really put a blanket, a rolled up blanket or a folded blanket rather, or maybe a nice thin cushion underneath your head, just to get that nice sort of parallel face and neck when you're in Shavasana. And just bring your awareness to your breath. Don't try to change it or modify it in any way. Just allow it to be. But be aware of it. We breathe so many times a day and are totally unaware of it. So just notice where your body moves at the inhale, or where the breath goes almost, and the same on the exhale. The in and the out. Calm and ease. Just literally allowing yourself to be here now. So the throat chakra, when it's in balance, it helps to purify all the other chakras and brings harmony into our being. So it's associated with the element of space. So we want to keep space here at our throat chakra, and associated with the colour turquoise. So it has lots of petals around it, just like the other ones, and again an upside down triangle and the Om sign as well in its symbol. So it's thought to connect us to a higher plane of consciousness and allows us to tap into our creativity, our intuition, and even to find inspiration in our lives. And of course, all the chakras are related, but this is particularly closely related to Anahata chakra. And when Anahata is open, Vishuddha communicates very directly with Anahata chakra and allows that sense of unconditional love to shine through. So the two chakras working in tandem to allow that sense and feeling of unconditional love that we can give and receive to shine through. And it's here where we begin to enjoy the balance of the energies of Ida and Pingala Nadi, the nadis that run by either side of the spine. So of course, one of the things that we can do when Vishuddha is nicely balanced and open is that we can communicate freely. We feel that we can speak our truth. And not only that, but communication isn't just about talking, it's also about listening. So we need to be able to listen as well, and it helps us to have that two-way communication that we need to have. And of course, as I say, if it's blocked, you're not going to feel that you can communicate freely. And equally, if there's too much energy in it, you're maybe going to come across as being overpowering, where you judge other people too much and maybe a bit aggressive and unreceptive, maybe one of those people who's in your face all the time. So we want to get that nice balance where we aren't withdrawn and feeling we can't speak out, and where we're talking too much. So there's a little mantra you might like to repeat to yourself. I speak my truth openly and freely. I speak my truth openly and freely. So far we've just been allowing our breath, the natural float rhythm of our breath, to guide us here. So now we are going to change our breath. We're going to do a breath that is associated with the throat chakra, and that's the Ujjayi breath. And it's a very obvious one to do with the throat chakra, because it's the one where we actually almost close off that little swallow bit as we inhale and exhale. So the other way we can think of doing it is where you're fogging up a mirror, so that you take a breath and then the exhale you go as if you're trying to fog the mirror up. But the inhale is a little bit harder to describe, or maybe even to get. So I was reading an article about this last night, and he suggested that you do the fogging up of the mirror on your out breath, but you also imagine that you have a mirror behind you you're trying to fog up on the in breath. So actually, I think this works quite well. So we'll take an in breath and do the fogging up on the out breath. So just take a normal breath first of all. And then your next in breath, or take an in breath, and then your out breath go to fog up your mirror. And then we'll take another normal breath in between. And this time, after your out breath naturally, on your in breath, fog up the mirror behind you. So we'll just try that. So think fogging mirror in front and mirror behind on the in and the out breath. And it is one of those ones that's tricky to get, but once you get it, it's so easy. So the other way I like to think of it is like the sound of the ocean waves, the sound of the waves lapping on the shore, that in and the out. And I actually find that makes it a nice relaxing breath as well. So a couple of things there to help you, but we'll try 5 rounds just in your own time, because we'll all be different. And just see how you get on. Don't worry if you don't get it. So we'll take an ordinary inhale and exhale, and then we'll begin. Watch that no tension has crept into your shoulders when you're doing this. And of course, ideally you do it with your lips closed or like gently sealed, but if you need to keep your lips open, it's fine, although it is a wee bit drying when you do it like that. So we've spent a few minutes settling ourselves, getting ourselves ready for the physical aspect of this morning's practice. So have a stretch in whatever way you want to, and remember, you don't do anything that I tell you that you know doesn't suit you or is going to hurt you. Just leave it out, take a rest, use a prop, but don't be allowing your ego to encourage you to do anything you really shouldn't. So now when you're ready, bring your knees in, plant your feet on the floor, and then bring your knees in towards your chest. Clasp your hands and take a big inhale and exhale. Squeeze your knees in, tuck your chin in and bring your knees towards your nose. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck your chin, knees squeeze in. Inhale, release. Exhale, knees in, chin tucked in. And then bring your head back down onto the floor. So we're just going to take this a tiny little bit further. So on the inhale, we're going to plant our feet and lift our hips up so that our chin is just parallel to the floor. It's not really bridge pose. We're literally just allowing our throat chakra to open a little bit. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring our knees in and tuck our chin in. So planting your feet, lifting your hips, chin up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees in, chin in. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, plant your feet, lift your hips up, chin up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees in, chin in. Plant your feet, inhale, hips up, chin up towards the ceiling. Exhale, knees in, chin in. And then just plant your feet, roll over onto one side, press into your left hand and bring yourself up and meet me with your feet out in front and your feet on the floor. So we're going to drop the left thigh down. So your right heel is coming in towards your right hip really, and your left foot is still planted in front of you. So for this, we're going to have our hands in quite close to our hips. So you can have your hands facing forward, facing back, or out to the side, and it'll depend very much on your wrists and your shoulders, what's comfortable for you. So we're going to do half reverse tabletop to begin with. So maybe try your hands one way and then maybe think, oh, that's not very comfortable, I'm going to try the other way. So I quite like my fingers pointing forward, and then it helps me to lift my heart center up as well. So we're going to press into the ball of the front foot, press into the left leg where it's lying, and lift your hips towards your heel almost, and lift up. So you're just looking up towards the ceiling. You're not allowing your head to fall back too much or anything. And exhale down. So we'll do one more of those. Inhale, press into the right foot, lift up, and exhale down. Try and keep your shoulders going back. And now we'll swap sides. So right foot in, left foot planted on the floor, and again pressing into the right foot, right leg this time. And maybe you want to adjust your fat hands, please do so. So press into your left foot and lift your hips towards your heel or your knee, whatever way you want to put it. And exhale down. One more. Press into the left foot, inhale up. Lifting up another little bit. And exhale down. And then bring both feet back together. Maybe just lean over your knees for a minute. Give your wrists maybe a few circles if you need to. And we're going to do both together now. So we're going to do full reverse tabletop. So if you find that tricky on just doing one at a time, I would suggest you repeat that. But otherwise, you can bring your hands to wherever your chosen position. I think I'll change, but I think I will keep my hands here. And this time we're going to press into both feet, lift your hips up. So it's important that you press into your feet. You can't expect your hands to do all the lifting. Lift your sit bones up. And again, you don't let your head drop back. Just keep looking up at the ceiling, lifting your sit bones up. Nice flat front body. Lift your bum up. Tuck, really engage your glutes to give you that wee bit of support. Really opening up through the heart center and Vajrasana chakra. One more big inhale here and exhale, lower down. Nice and gently. So we're going to do one more of those. It's always a good idea to do more than one. So if you were doing just one side at a time, you do the other side now, okay? So press into both feet. Take a big inhale, bring your sit bones almost as if you're lifting them forward. It makes it easier. So your neck and head are in a nice line with your spine, pressing the floor away, lifting up. Lift up your hips, lift your bottom up. Everybody lift their bottom up a little bit more. One more big inhale here, lovely, and exhale, gently. Lower yourself down. Swing your legs to one side. Bring yourself round, or maybe you don't need to bring yourself round. Meet me in easy cross-legged. And again, use your blanket or your block if you want to sit on. Lift the flesh from sit bones and sit up nice and tall. So roll your shoulders back and down and feel you're lifting right from here at the heart center. And we're going to take a big inhale. And exhale, drop your chin down towards your chest. And then we're just going to sweep your chin over towards the left. And then sweep it back down and across towards the right. So we'll do 2 more of those. Really feel your stretching, feeling nice stretch along the back of the neck. And really try not to let your shoulders come up as you do this. And then bring yourself back to center. And here we're going to clasp our hands and bring your elbows in together. So your thumbs will be more or less at your throat chakra. And then inhale, we're going to open our elbows out, bring your hands up under your chin and gently lift your chin up towards the ceiling, so stretching it out. And then as you exhale, elbows come back together and your head bows down a little bit. Inhale, open your elbows out, lift your chin up. Exhale, elbows come back together, chin in towards your chest. Inhale. Hard to get your elbows back together whenever you lower your chin, by the way, so don't worry too much about that. And last one, exhale. Bring yourself down. And then from here, we're going to do, I did promise you some mantra if you read the email yesterday. So we're going to clasp our hands and we're going to, this is a mudra for throat chakra. We're going to, the index finger and thumb of each hand will come together. I don't know if you can see that. So we would do that sort of very often for our Hasta mudra. So we're still having index finger and thumbs together, except the rest of our fingers are clasped, okay? That makes sense? So clasp your hands and then right finger and thumb press together and left finger and thumb press together, okay? And then bring it up to your throat chakra. So the seed sound for Vishuddha is hum. So we're going to hum. So you're all at home, you don't need to worry about feeling silly or anything. So it goes like this. Take a big inhale. And you just let the hum last as long as your exhale. So we'll do 3 altogether. So inhale. And then gently release your fingers. And we're going to bring our right hand onto our heart center. Drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder, so don't let your right shoulder lift up. And then take your left hand, see if you can take it slightly back. Press into the floor and allow your right ear to come down towards your right shoulder. See how that feels. And then maybe you'll bring your left hand out and press. Imagine you're pressing away with your left hand. One more breath here. And then release your left hand. Gently bring your head back to center, release your right hand. And we'll swap sides. Left hand onto your heart center. Drop your left ear down towards the left shoulder. Watch the left shoulder doesn't come to meet it. Take your right hand back a little bit maybe. Press into your right hand just to allow you to get a little bit more of a stretch, and then if you want to, you can bring your right arm out to the side and press away as if you're pressing into something really solid. One more big inhale here. And exhale, drop your right hand down. Bring your head back to center. Release your left hand, and from here we'll roll forward into tabletop. So knees below your hips, wrists below your shoulders. You're lifting, you're engaging your navel, so lift your navel back toward your spine, because if you don't, you're going to start off in your kind of cow back. So you really need to lift your navel back towards your spine. Actively press the floor away. Index fingers facing forward, fingers well spread. No pressure in your wrists. Take a big inhale. Drop your belly, shoulders away. Lift your chin up a little bit, stretching through that throat chakra. And exhale, tuck your tail under, chin in towards your chest, pressing the floor away. Inhale, excuse me, drop your belly, stretching through your throat chakra, heart center coming through. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tail, press the floor away. One more. Inhale, draw your heart center through, stretching through throat chakra, but don't be crunching your neck. Exhale, chin it towards your chest, pressing the floor away. And then look at where your hands are and begin to walk. Keep your knees exactly where they are and begin to walk your hands forward. So we're going to do puppy pose. And if you've got a brick, bring your brick down so that you can have it more or less where you need it for your forehead to rest on. And begin to walk your hands forward. So if you need, it's much easier if you have your brick here, it's less pressure on your shoulders. So strictly speaking, we want to get our chin in the floor eventually, but don't worry about doing that today. So it's also called melting heart pose, but again, it's a great one for your throat chakra. So take your arms out wider as well if you have tight shoulders, or bring your elbows down onto the floor and do it like this if you need to. So lots of options. So it's a strong posture. Lifting your sit bones up. Rolling your shoulders away. And breathe. Really feel you're melting your heart center down. One more breath here, and then press into your arms, roll forward, and bring yourself down into Sphinx pose. So I'm sure you're thinking, we've done all these postures before quite recently, and yes, you have, because the chakras all work together, so many of the postures that work for one chakra equally work just as well for the others. So this is the nice thing about doing this chakra work, because we're constantly refreshing the other chakras at the same time. So check that your elbows are below your shoulders, you're pressing into the tops of your feet, and you're drawing your front ribs up, and there should be no pinching at all, shoulders rolling back and down. And this is a strong posture when you're doing it right. So again, a nice stretch along the front of the neck, but we're not actually crunching the back of the neck. So get that nice sort of neutral position where everything along the front of the throat feels really, really nice, for want of a better word. Lovely. So keep lifting up. Shoulders rolling away from your ears, pressing into the tops of your feet. Now, either stay here, or if you want to work a bit harder, you can tuck your toes under and bring yourself into forearm plank. So again, hollowing out the front body, nice straight line from the back of the head down towards the heels. Press into your heels, lift the front body into the back body. Strong forearms, strong arms. 2 more breaths here. You're doing really well. Keep your knees on the floor if you need to. 1 more big inhale here. And gently lower yourself down, toes away. Bring your arms down either side of your body. And bring one cheek onto the floor just very, very briefly. We're going to do locust pose. So we'll do a little practice first of all, if you like. So if you want to, you can bring your thighs underneath, or hands underneath your thighs, or you can make fists with your thumbs, which gives you even, tuck your thumbs in, to make fists, gives you even more leverage, so you can really lift your legs up. So shoulders rolling away from your ears, forehead on the floor. Now my forehead's lifted so I can talk. Reach your toes away, take a big inhale and lift your legs off the floor. And it really makes it so, I think it makes it quite easy when you've got your hands here. Take a big inhale, another big lift, and exhale, lower down. And again, check that you're drawing your sit bones away so that you've got length for that lift. So now bring your hands, remove your hands from your thighs and clasp your hands and draw your shoulders back and down. And you'll notice probably already your front body has begun to lift a little bit as you do that and you roll your shoulders back and down. So we're going to do half Salabhasana. So this time we're going to press into the tops of the feet and lift the head, nose, chin, chest off the floor. Okay, so draw your knuckles down towards your heels, take a big inhale and press into the top of your feet and lift. Big inhale here, lift again and exhale. Release your hands. Allow your big toes to touch. Maybe take one cheek onto the floor just for a couple of breaths. And now we're going to do the full pose. So your choice, if you prefer just to do the legs or just do the front body or the top body, you do that. Otherwise, you can bring your hands down either side of your body or you can clasp your hands again if you want to. I quite like clasping your hands, really helps to draw your shoulders back and down. So again, we do this in an inhale. And find your pubic bone, soft part of your belly, and then when you're ready, big inhale, lift everything off the floor, except your belly and your pubic bone. Shoulders drawing back and down. Press into the feet, lift up, big inhale, lift again. 1 more breath here. And gently release. And bring the other cheek onto the floor. Big toes touch, have a wee rock from side to side. And then bring your hands down either side of your body. Tuck your toes under. And bring yourselves up. And meet me in high kneeling. So put a blanket underneath your knees if your knees are sore at all. And make yourself comfortable, or roll your mat up if you want to. So knees are hip width apart and we're pressing into the tops of our feet. So bring your hands so that your fingers are pointing down towards your hips. Roll your shoulders back and feel that all your fingers are really supporting your lower back. So we're going to do a prep for Eustress and a Camel pose. And of course, if you want to, you can do the full pose. So if you happen to have 2 bricks, you can put a brick at either side of your feet if camel isn't your thing. And that just brings your feet to the floor up that much closer to you. But in this pose, we want to try and keep our hips coming forward. So shoulders rolling back and down. Lifting up. And then using that support you have. We're not going to go straight into camel yet. We're still preparing. Keep your elbows rolling back, lifting your heart center up, and maybe begin to go into the tiniest little bit of a back bend. It's not a huge back bend. It's just allow your, look up at the ceiling. Don't let your head, keep control of your head, maybe is what I'm trying to say. And then gently bring yourself back up again. So we'll do that again. So again, get your nice support here. Feel you're lifting your ribs up to give yourself length for the back bend. So inhale, get length, and exhale. Maybe begin to go into your back bend. So just go as far as feels right for you. And then gently bring yourself back and maybe tuck your chin in slightly. So now the next stage is where we're going to see if we can take our arms back. So we're going to keep, we'll bring your left lower arm across at your waist there, and that's going to sort of replace your hands. We're going to look down at our right thumb, and we're going to swing our right thumb across our body, follow it the whole way up and back. And see, just don't be trying to touch your thumbs or anything, or your heels at the minute. We're just loosening up, warming up, prepping the body for what we're thinking of doing. And maybe now this time you'll begin to graze your heels, your right heel. So keep following that right thumb. One more on this side. And maybe your thumbs will touch, or your fingers will touch your heels. And then we'll swap sides. So right arm here, it is your wee support. And of course, if you want to, if your heels seem too far away, you can tuck them, press into your toes, and that immediately brings them that wee bit closer. So again, look down at your left thumb, swing it across, follow it the whole way around. Maybe you won't touch your heel this time, because we have to let our muscles know what we're thinking of doing. Maybe you might get it that time. Maybe in the third go, you'll get your thumb. So one more on this side. And then bring yourself back to center. So we know what's coming now. So if you haven't done Eustress before, I suggest you just do what we did at the very beginning. Keep your hands here for nice support and keep your hips coming forward and come back. Or maybe you might want to keep your hands here to begin with, and then maybe you'll feel for your brick on one side, maybe you'll take your brick on the other side and bring your hips forward and come back into your version of Eustress. And of course, some of you I know can do the full posture. And equally, if you want to go a bit further, anybody, you can bring your heels up, and that makes it easier. So swing round first with the right arm, maybe your heel's there, maybe it's not. And swing round with the left arm. Maybe you don't need your heels lifted, but keep your hips coming forward. So your thigh should still be in a nice straight line. So you have a choice here of keeping your chin tucked in, looking up at the ceiling, or you can let your head go back. lifting your heart center up, pressing into the tops of the feet, making sure your thighs stay parallel to the floor. No, not parallel, perpendicular. One more breath here, big inhale, and very gently begin to bring yourself up to an upright position, and just take a breath here, and we're going to do one more of those. So say, if you have your hands on your bricks, that's perfect. You're doing really well. Please do not do this if you know it's not going to suit you. So same thing again. Bring your hands to make sure you're lifting up again before you do anything. And then reach back maybe in the right side. Reach back on the left side. Keep pushing your hips forward. Lifting up. Maybe allow your head to go back. Maybe keep your chin tucked in. So really lifting your hips points forward. One more big inhale here. And gently bring yourself forward. And nice and slowly just sit down onto your heels. And then bring your elbows onto the floor. Make a little hammock for your chin. Nice and slowly. Do this nice and slowly. Rest your chin in your hands, and this feels so good after that. And I know it doesn't feel like it, but see all these back bends and things, they are so good for strengthening your back. And the people with back issues do need their back strengthened, their muscles in their back strengthened. And now maybe make fists, so put one fist on top of the other and bring your forehead down onto your fists. So I think this is a lovely way to come out of this posture. So wherever you were feeling at, make sure you direct your breath there. And then plant one hand on the floor, the other hand on the floor, and bring your forehead down onto the top hand. Then from here, bring your hands down onto the floor. Take your knees out full width of your mat and allow your big toes to touch. And then at the minute, our bottom's up in the air. So we're going to turn one hand to face our knees and the other hand to face our knees, and maybe walk your hands back if you're comfortable and bring your knees down, or bring your knees. Yes, bend your knees more. Bring your bottom down onto your heels. So you want your arms to be straight. So have your arms further out. It's easier further in, actually, I think. So you're trying to have your elbows straight. And we're going to do lion's breath. So lion's breath, sometimes we do this when we're in down dog. So in lion's breath, on the exhale, we stick our tongue out and we look up towards our third eye. And again, a great one for the throat chakra. And not only that, but apparently it's very good for your facial muscles and for anti-aging, okay? So I'll have to do a lot more of it. So when we do it, we take a big inhale, open your mouth wide, stick your tongue out, look up at your third eye. Inhale, tongue out. One more. Inhale. I'd love to hear you all doing it. And then gently release your hands and swing your legs to one side. And bring yourself to lie down and have your brick or a rolled up blanket handy. And gently lie yourself down, take your brick and put it underneath your sacrum, so almost, you know, at the bottom of your, right at the bottom of your spine, okay? So that you feel really nicely supported. So tuck your shoulders in, so your sternum's coming up towards your breastbone's coming up towards your chin is going up towards the ceiling, just the way it would be if we were in bridge pose. So this, we are sort of in a supported bridge pose at the minute. And then we're going to bring the right knee in towards our chest and reach our right leg up towards the ceiling. And point your toes. That's it. And just notice how that feels. And bring your right knee back in again and plant it on the floor. Bring your left knee in and point it up towards the ceiling. Really reach into the toes and feel how supported you are. And then plant it down again. So now we're going to do both feet in our supported Sarvangasana, queen of poses. So knees in and then straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. So very often our legs are inclined to come back, especially when you're supported, so probably everybody needs to move their legs away a wee bit. So press, point your toes, lifting up. Shoulders away from your ears, chin up towards the ceiling. A nice openness there at Vishuddha chakra. And breathe. So you can do this, of course, up against a wall as well, where it is really relaxing. So maybe try flexing your feet while you're here. And just stay here, or you can take yourself to the wall if you want to do this. But there's another great posture for Vishuddha chakra is Ply Pose. Now, if you have never done Ply Pose in a class with a teacher, please do not, under any circumstances, consider doing Ply Pose now. So in both these postures, you want to keep your head and neck really still. Particularly in Ply, you don't want to be wriggling your neck about. But I would strongly advise you not even to think of it if you've never done it in a live class or in a class with a teacher. But if you want to try it, if you've done it before, certainly go ahead. So you bring your knees in towards your chest and then reach up and bring your feet down behind you. And breathe. And then to come out, bring your knees in either side of your shoulders and gently roll back down. Your brick is still there, hopefully. So if you're still in Sarvangasana, bring your knees in towards your chest and gently lower your feet down to the floor. It's almost as if the floor has disappeared on you, see there? And we're just going to take a couple of breaths here. So we've just one more or a couple more little postures I want to do. So you can leave your brick here and do this next bit with the brick here as a supported posture, or you can press into your feet and slide your brick away and lower your sit bones down towards the floor. Tuck your shoulders in wherever you are, whether you're on the brick or not. Press into your feet and begin to lift your hips up into bridge pose. So chin up towards the ceiling, breastbone towards your chin. So you should never feel any constriction in this posture. Big inhale here, lift your hips up a little higher. And exhale, lower down nice and slowly. So this time we're going to bring the arms into it as well. So as you lift your hips up, press into your feet and begin to bring your arms up and back behind you. And again, keep that nice sense of openness, the heart center and at the throat chakra. And exhale, lower down. So we'll do one more of those. Press into your feet, inhale, lift up. Exhale. Unroll. And bring your arms down. So now we're just going to roll onto the right side, press into the left hand, bring yourself up and meet me in Dandasana. So lift the flesh from your sit bones, press into your heels, sitting up really tall. Bring your hands either side of your hips, shoulders rolling back and down. And exhale, soften and release. And then release your hands. So we're going to do Ardha Matsyendrasana. So bring your right knee in quite close to your sit bones. So you can stay here, keep your foot here, or you can step it over and bring your left hand around and give it a hug. So if you're here, you're still going to give it a hug with your left hand. Okay, so bring it in nice and close and try not to hunch over when you do this. Keep lifting your heart center up and keep that nice open channel right up the front of your body. Bring your right hand in round close behind and use it to stop you sort of slouching back or leaning back. And then begin to feel as if you're lifting your tummy, mid-chest, upper chest, round to the right, and you can turn your head and look over your right shoulder. Keep pressing into both sit bones, keep pressing into the heel of the left foot and leg. Inhale up. Exhale, maybe you'll turn a tiny little bit more. You go as far as feels right for you. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn. One more inhale here. And exhale, nice and gently. Bring yourself back to center. And we'll do the other side. So again, check that you're on your sit bones. Left leg in. Leave it here. Hug with the right arm or take it over and give it a good hug. And of course, if you have the flexibility, you can take your arm around the outside of it, but don't worry about doing that today. Bring your left hand in close behind, and again, use that left hand to give you a little bit of a lift, give you more length to turn or more space to turn, because we're talking about space here, remember. So take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, begin to move your belly, mid-chest, upper chest, and as long as you've no neck issues, turn and look over the left shoulder. Inhale, and exhale, soften. One more. Inhale, and exhale. And then very gently begin to bring yourself back to center. Undo the cross of your legs, swing your legs to one side. And I was going to bring you up to stand, but maybe I won't, seeing we're nearly finished. So we'll just come and sit in Vajrasana, or whatever way you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable sitting like this, sit up and put your brick or your block in behind your knees, or rolled up blanket, or even easy cross-legged. So we're just going to do a little bit of breathing, because I said Vajrasana chakra is also connected to your shoulder girdle, your collarbones, this whole area of the chest. So bring your hands together at your heart center to start off with. And then as we inhale, we're going to sweep our arms out and up. Look up between your hands and draw down that energy, and tuck your chin in, bow your head towards your hands. Inhale, bring your arms up. Look up between your hands, shoulders away from your ears. Draw down that energy. Head down towards your hands. Inhale. Really feel you're opening up. Almost begin to take your hands back a little bit. Look up between your hands. Draw down the energy. Head down towards your hands. Last one. Inhale. Bring your hands up. And exhale. Head down towards your hands. And then from here, swing your legs to one side. Nice and slowly. Keep your feet planted. Lower yourself down onto the mat. So try and use your core to do this. Keep your throat center open as you do it. And we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Bring your arms out in crucifix. Big inhale. And exhale, drop the knees down to the left. Turn your head and look right. So with each inhale, see if you can get a little bit more twist. With each exhale, see if you can soften into it that little bit. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. And then gently bring your knees back towards the center. We'll swap sides. Left knee over the right. Inhale. And exhale down to the right hand. Turn your head and look left. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling, maybe getting a little bit more length. Exhale, softening into the twist. One more breath here. And gently bring yourself back, turn your knees back to center. Undo the cross of your legs. And you're ready for your relaxation. So shoulders rolling away from each other, feet out the full width of your mat. Put on any extra layers that you think you might need. Make sure that you're comfortable and warm for your relaxation, because you will not be able to relax if you're feeling uncomfortable. And again, remember the way we got ourselves ready at the beginning. So we don't want our chin to be sticking up towards the ceiling. You want it just to be in a nice neutral position. So nice long back of the neck and the chin just a nice sort of plane with the forehead. so that the throat center is open but relaxed. So your tongue or your chin isn't tucked in, but as you lengthen your neck towards, or lengthen your neck towards the top of your mat, there will be the tiniest little bit of a tuck of your chin possibly. Draw your shoulders down, feel your opening across the collarbones as you open out, so the shoulder blades are resting in that nice flat part, or you're resting in the flat part of your shoulder blades. Arms are rotated, backs of the hands on the floor. Heel of the right foot to the right edge of the mat, the heel of the left foot to the left edge of the mat. And just notice your breath. Don't try to change it, don't do anything with it, just follow your breath and invite it to slow down. So you're resting in this place between heaven and earth. We are spiritual beings in a human body. So it seems right that we should be resting between heaven and earth, the two things that give us energy. So feel with your next breath that you're breathing right up from the root chakra, the sacral chakra, solar plexus, the heart chakra, right up to your throat. And then as you exhale, feel the whole process reversing. So now we are breathing right up the length of the torso, right from Muladhara. Feel the breath as it moves from one chakra to the next, right up to Vishuddha. And then exhaling, everything reversing, softening and releasing. So continue to breathe like that. Feel your breathing right down and getting that energy moving right up along the body. You're invigorating your energy channels with each inhale, and with each exhale, letting go that little bit more. So notice if there's anywhere that you may still be holding on to a little bit of tension. And very deliberately give it permission to release, to relax, to let go. Maybe bring yourself back to that little mantra. I speak my truth openly and freely. I speak my truth openly and freely. Now bring your awareness back to the throat chakra. Really focus on that area and visualize a lovely turquoisey blue light there at your throat chakra. And notice that lovely turquoisey blue, energizing, freeing, healing light right at your throat chakra. And feel that lovely, energizing, freeing light move right up through your head and neck, down across your shoulders, down into your arms, your shoulder girdle, that whole area that we associate with Vishuddha chakra. And feel that lovely, healing, calming, energizing light moving throughout our body. Now it's moving down through the heart center, the waist, the hips, right down through the legs, the ankles, the feet, the toes. Feel your whole body begin to tingle with that energy, that purification that comes with the chakras being in balance. All the channels freely opened. Allowing the spiritual you to move throughout your body. Allowing that sense of unconditional love to flow freely, to allow you to speak freely, to communicate effectively. Feel the power of your throat chakra, the power that is you, the power that enables you to be you and to speak your truth openly and freely. Rise to the surface of the water of life. Leave your earthly troubles behind and bubble up towards the light. Allow your presence to be as spacious as the sky. Let the gentle breeze of your breath carry your wings above the clouds and fly high. And as you soar beyond the atmosphere, greet each twinkling star. Embrace an expansive eternity, an ineffable infinity, nothing less than the truth of who you are. So that's another one by Zach Beach from 108 Shavasana Poems. So your relaxation is coming to an end. Gently bring yourself back and begin to breathe more deeply. Begin to wake your body up, wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes. Have a stretch, do whatever you feel your body needs. And then when you're ready, bring your hands together at your heart center and rub them nice and briskly together until they create a nice bit of heat. And then clasp your hands again in that mudra we did earlier. So fingers are clasped, finger and thumb of each hand together. And feel the heat in your hands and bring that to your throat chakra. Allow that heat to seep in that mudra, to allow you to speak your truth openly and freely. Gently release your hands. Bring your right knee into your chest, your left knee into your chest. And begin to rock from side to side. And when you're ready, take the rock right over onto the right side of your body. Press into your left hand and bring yourself up into any comfortable seated position. Meet me with your hands in Anjali Mudra. So press your hands and your fingers firmly together. Take a big inhale and exhale gently. Stretch out the back of your neck, tuck your chin in, bow your head down towards your hands. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate the fact that you make the effort to join me for these classes. Thank you again so much. Let the love in our hearts guide the words that we speak and the thoughts that we think. Namaste.